坤哥英语针对你的留学考试提分痛点，提分快准狠，提分狠来坤哥。
Okay.
Oh my god, I drank too much last
night.
We're here. My voice sounds like disaster.
Not a disaster. Yeah, we're here finally. Yeah, this is official recording here this time. We figured
out.
out.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
Kathy,
let's just stop.
Yeah, introduce yourself. Who are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Kathy. My Chinese name is许嘉禧. I'm from Guangdong. And I went to America when I was 16. I studied in the local high school for 2 years. And then I'm going to Boston University in this fall.
All right. So what's your relationship with me? What's your story with me?
So Jackie is my SAT reading teacher. And then basically, I don't think his class is like traditional reading teacher. But then we talk a lot about like culture thing to help me to understand what the authors and like the historical backgrounds of the authors of the story, to understand stories, especially for the novels, and for like scientific reading or like other kind of like science reading. That's not really my thing. And then Jackie helps me to read it like efficiently without reading the whole articles. And I think it helps because like in SAT reading test is like very intense. It takes a lot of time to read the whole articles, but like you don't really have that much time to finish the article. So I think his reading skills helped me a lot. And then I just like finished all the reading tasks in the test.
So what you were doing before you came to my class? What was the traditional way of reading in SAT?
Like at first I would just read the whole article before I read the questions and like the answers, the multiple choice. But then now I would just like read the first paragraph and then go to the question 1, question 2, question 3 to see what the questions, what answer they want me to give.
So basically, you were using it like lines by lines. I mean, you just read every word in the right chronological order before.
And sometimes it's like if you read that fast and then ask like the second language, I don't think like I can actually understand what it's talking about.
So there are a lot of deceptive information in somewhere in the passage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your biggest gain? Like, what is your biggest gain in my class? I mean, because why I'm asking you is because different people have different feedback, and some people think they improve their vocabulary. Some people think they improve their methodology of understanding the question, the answer to the question. What's your biggest gain? I mean, within just one sentence or just one idea.
I think is how to find the most correct answer. That
is that pragmatic?
Yeah, that the examiner want you to answer.
Okay. So I mean, to put it simple, you just improve your accuracy.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like option B and option C. They actually like really, they are really vague. Like they look like kind of like the same, but they are not like exactly the same. So that's why I am confused at first. Like I really have to find the most accurate answer.
Yeah, there are a lot of deceptive traps, and these booby traps would, from a surface, you think maybe that's the right thing to do, maybe that's the right direction to go. But actually, there are some words which are, that are pretty distorted or the misleading. But now you're able to see what's the difference between these things in a very profound way, and you are able to maximize your accuracy in this process. Okay, so any suggestion for me? What I'm doing wrong, right?
I don't see like you're doing something wrong. But I think like sometimes the teachers are like too special. So for some students who want to find like the traditional reading teacher, I think it's just the mode. The teaching mode has to like adjust certain students.
Yeah. So what do you mean that I'm too unorthodox, right? I'm too like.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by traditional courses and traditional students?
The traditional teachers would tell you like, oh, like, you know, that's how you get a score and like blah 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 about like about the article. It's not about the culture. It's not about how to change your way to understand the Western culture. But like Jackie's class actually just like give you another view to see what it would turn out like, how people think in English language. Like if the authors write in English language, you have to think in a Western way, in an English way, I mean.
So I got you. It's like what you really, you've got in my lesson is like you have better methodology to analyze the article structure and analyze the purpose, the motives for the writers, and you understand how to analyze this passage in the right perspective. And the suggestion for me is like maybe when in phrasing some traditional Chinese students, I gotta be more like cater to their needs. Like I gotta be more like to give them 1, 2, 3, but maybe in the same content, but maybe 1, 2, 3. This is exactly what they need. Just to be more flexible.
I think both the teacher and the student have to find a way to adjust each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Good insight. Okay, so tell me something about like I know your story. Like you've been to state in a very early stage of your life. So how did you fit? Do you think that environment is pretty tough for you? And can you just make friends with natives or with Chinese like easily? Or what's your story? I mean, any suggestion? Share some of your story in form of providing suggestions for the newcomers, like Chinese.
I mean, it's like as an Asian, I'm like obviously a minority in where I live, because like in like where I live is Rhode Island. Is like people white, Italian. They are Catholic, and then I'm Chinese. I look Asian.
Yeah.
I'm not religious, so I'm obviously a minority there. But like, I don't think it's hard for me. I mean, I think I can fit in anywhere. The thing is that like that's the way. Like you have to think in the local way, and you have to speak in the local way. Sometimes it's just like I make a joke, and then people like, wow, you're Chinese, but you still know American joke. You still get our joke. And I think that's also a good fit in for different culture. And but like about friends, I think I make some American friends, but like I also have Chinese friends. I think you can keep both. It doesn't have like you don't have to go to the States and say I only like make American friends. It's just not true. It's just weird because you're Chinese. So I mean,
yeah.
Eventually, like Chinese help each other. Yeah.
Right. But aren't you afraid of sometimes facing a situation that you have to choose sides, just like what we have. Like in a lot of traditional communities, you have to choose your side. Like either you'll be okay with, maybe that's not your case, but I know somebody's story. Like they are forced to choose sides, whether they have to follow the Chinese or
like there was one thing, one event happened in my school, and it was the issue. Like So one of the Chinese girls, she actually got like kind of like harassed by the American kids, and then they kind of like they laugh at her accent because she sounds too Chinese, and then she acts like a Chinese girl. I mean, she's Chinese, she's new, she's younger than me, and then people just try to, like those American kids, sometimes they're just boring. They're just bored. They just like they don't know what they are doing. And then I know it's kind of like, they take her as a target, and so that's the moment that you have to show that you're Chinese. So I take her side, but then also like I have a lot of like black friends, and then Hispanic friends, ABC friends, Asian American friends, and they also take our side. They say if we don't speak up for you guys this time, next time it will turn to us. So I mean, it's like family. So I don't think I'm isolated, but I mean, yeah, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, but like I think it happens everywhere. Like even China. I mean, different provinces, different cities.
Yeah.
I mean, people have stereotypes. People have prejudices. They have some sort of xenophobia, or especially they grow up in a small place and where it's kind of a closed culture circle, and they want to.
I was born and grown up in like a small city, and then the people just
not
like
you. I'm
see
not
me.
talking about you. You are pretty open-minded. You're just like international thinker.
Yeah, they just see me like, oh, you're getting tanned, and then you're just trying, you're working out.
Not Chinese, right?
It's just not Chinese style, and then you wear the kind of clothes and speak English. Like sometimes I got English mixed with my Chinese, and they're just like blah blah blah. It's like I don't care,
Yeah, just be yourself.
I mean, this is who I am. Like I'm used to it. So
yeah. So what we can learn from you is like, I think your experience is really precious, is because you're able to be who you are, and at the same time you can manage a natural relationship with people. I mean, you don't force yourself to do something. You just be yourself, and you respect people unless you are not respected. I mean, you have
unless I'm offended.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So as for the language, we've noticed that you had a pretty good English. I mean, very fluent. So any suggestion for the Chinese students who are planning to study overseas, how to prepare their English foundation, how to, any suggestions?
So it's actually like a cultural thing. Like when I was 11, 12, people started to, watch dramas, like TV series, and then listen to pop music. And then at this time, like all the other girls, they kind of listen to Korean song, like K-pop music and K-dramas, and I started to watch, American TV series. I was like, I was watching Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries, and and Two Broke Girls. At the time it was not bad, and now it's like suck. So I mean, the thing is that you really so when I go to the States, I don't have like a cultural shock or anything else, because like I see what I see from the movie and like from the TV series, but it's not exactly like the same, because after all, it's not the reality.
Yes.
And so I have those like topics with my American classmates, and that's how we build friendship.
Okay.
And
very good approach.
Yeah.
You just use the like we say like what we call like memes or like culture genes or some kind of transferable information like cultural sports or something like that, and you're able to establish that connection because you really love this culture.
Like for guys, like if they watch like NBA and then baseball a lot or like football, they're gonna be like popular in the States. I mean,
right, and because you have you have commonalities with people in the States, right? So
yeah.
as I remember, when I was a college boy, like more than a decade ago, I established my relationship with native speakers and to improve my English because we both love playing video games. And we both love,
That's cute.
Yeah, and we like talk about girls because like men everywhere, as long as you're straight, you're into girls, right? We talk about girls.
Yeah.
So we can hang out. And then with the girls, we can talk about, well, what's the difference between cultural difference or this or that. And so I think just humanity is.
I mean, like especially in high school, like in America, if you play football as a boy or you're a cheerleader as a girl, you're gonna be popular anyway. So that's how this is what it is, and you know that's the culture. So in the school, you can see the popular kids from like football team and cheerleader team. So
they just love the sportsmanship. They love that like a tribal leader or that kind of leader figure. They want somebody strong, somebody's funny, somebody's like not feeling like this person's not timid at all. This person's really confident. They want that, right? Kind of
like it's just so funny because like in sophomore year, like people would even fall in love with a kind of like a stupid guy because
really
they don't even know what they like in sophomore year, but like in junior year everything will change. Like people just like will start to forget those stupid silly guys and then say, oh, they're just childish.
It's just like saying goes like the douchebags get laid, right? Douchebags get laid. But things very different in China. I mean, many Chinese girls are very into the kind of behaved man or behaved guy, but like not a douchebags. I mean, douchebags are attractive to some girls, but not everyone.
They're so funny. I mean,
they are atypical. Okay, so very nice talking with you. Well, have you some private matters? Have you have some romantic relationship with Americans, or what is your standard?
No, I haven't had a relationship for 2 years. So
okay, so you're. You following?
Yeah, I love being single. I mean.
Okay, cool. So very nice talking with you, Cassie, and because your experience will be really educational and very helpful for those Chinese school, like high school student or middle school student who are preparing for this SAT examination. Okay, so one more question for you. So in terms of preparing IELTS or TOEFL. I don't know whether you have taken that test before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions if they want to learn by themselves? Any suggestions to?
I actually learned TOEFL by myself. Yeah, I never taken like any TOEFL lesson. Yeah. So
be aware, I can still help some people who can learn by themselves. All right. Cool.
I mean, for speaking, if you think you are like good enough and then you want to still get like a knockback score, I think the thing is like record your voice, record what you say, and then you time yourself. It's kind of awkward to hear your own voice from the audio, but it's fine. You're gonna get like good score and it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's super awkward. I mean, at first, I think it's awkward, but if I don't do it, I'm not gonna get high score.
Yeah, but people who listen to this program, we should be aware that Kathy, she really has a good foundation. I mean, before she took the TOEFL test or IELTS test, she can already speak very fluently. So be aware that you gotta be built up. You gotta have that kind of foundation to really execute her plan. But her suggestion is really nice.
For reading, I mean, like if you take the SAT reading test, you would think like the TOEFL one is like way too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So And listening is just practice, practice, and practice. That's the only thing I can tell. Like, because like I take the notes all the time, and then I write really fast. That helps.
That's your method, Kathy.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of, when I'm doing my teaching, I would always suggest my students not to take notes, but be aware that I'm not asking them to, follow the test blindly. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I have a certain structure or strategy that would really help those Chinese students. But you're different, Kathy. I mean, you have good English foundation, so it's okay for you if you can write quick notes.
It's not like you should write down everything. It's like you have to build up a form for yourself to, make it clear, or like you can, like, sometimes you can just abbreviate some word, like, because you can just put in BC. Right.
You just put out the key stuff, and So anyway, very nice talking with you, Cassie, and hope maybe in the future you can have some new discussions with us, and hope everything goes fine in your life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So anything you want to say to me, or wish me, or wish my students? As an
okay, I hope you can have like a lot of students. You will be busy enough, and then you will be too busy to talk shit with me.
I am busy, but I'm just free with you. Okay, nice. And keeping tan, keeping sexy, having attitude, or doing well in your life, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Farewell.
Okay, cool.
扫码关注坤哥英语公众号，或打开微信搜索关注 LYKDOPELEE， 即可获得最高达1000元的学习新人大礼包。别忘了，咱们坤哥提分就是快准狠，提分狠来坤哥。